President Trump is making a very, very hard stance on lawlessness, on rioting, and on violence. All the while, no surprise, the media is trying to convince us he's doing nothing, which is hilarious, and we're going to get into all that. Kayleigh McEnany, once again today, getting fried just barely, just now in the news presser. Like always, there's some stuff she touched on that I have to hit on. And then just some other observations, some other things that we're seeing going on with the riotings. We're still going to touch on that a little bit. Guys, my name is Jared. This is RedRacer Video. I am a car guy turned world news, politics, whatever you might want to call it guy. Saw some stuff one day I couldn't unsee, and now here we are. Every day I stand in front of this camera and I do this for you guys. So I hope you're appreciating it. Thank you to everybody that's supporting the channel. I have joined Parler, P-A-R-L-E-R. Go join Parler. Get rid of Twitter. Get rid of Facebook. Find me on there. I am RedRacer Jared. So thank you everybody for the support. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. Here we go. Like I mentioned, President Trump is making a hard stance on the rioters. Since day one, he condemned, well, actually, fast forward. We're going to skip. I almost got ahead of myself. He has done a lot about this. He's got National Guard moved all over the country. He has already said that if governors don't do their job, he'll do their job. He has been very vocal about it from the very beginning. I mean, the very beginning. This president, if there's one thing he does not do, it's not do stuff. He's always doing stuff. You may criticize him for it when he's doing it, but he's always doing. So they're trying to say now he's not doing anything, right? It's hilarious. There is a big increase in National Guard. You guys probably heard by now, and this came out literally, actually the news came out yesterday as I was recording my video, that Trump had declared Antifa a terrorist organization. That changes a lot. That changes the rules a lot. It lets police and governors and mayors and everybody, I'm not totally up to speed on everything, but it gives them a lot more flexibility. They can prosecute, they can do a lot of other things. One of the other things it does is gives the Republican Party, the independents, the Democrats that haven't lost their minds, gives them the ability to go after some people for some other things. We're going to get into that here in a little bit. So guys, stay till the end. There's a lot in this video. Today we got like 2 pages of notes. This one might make it to like 20 minutes. So stick with me. Hang in there. So again, big increase in National Guard across the country. I think we're up to, I can't remember the number, but it's over like 100,000. It's a lot. So you guys saw the weird thing about this, and I'm going to touch on this quick and we'll move forward, but you guys saw all these tanks get delivered into these cities months ago during COVID. You think they were delivering tanks for COVID? Or do you think they were delivering tanks because they knew that this was Soros and the Democrats, the DNC and Hillary and Obama and everybody's plan? Just saying. They weren't delivering tanks for COVID. Now they're putting those tanks in cities. And surprisingly enough, they're doing it here in my home state of Utah. I'm really shocked. I didn't see it coming. I have a theory about why, and we'll touch on that again later. Again, stick until the end of the video. There's a lot in this video. But there's just, it's a script. This is all playing out. And man, this is a very powerful video for anybody that doesn't believe in the people that, or doesn't believe in Q and the information program and just whatever you want to call it, whoever you want to call them, however you view them. For those that can still in my comments say that the people that have done the research, read what Q's asked us to read, followed along, seen what is right in front of you. It's not propaganda. It's not a psych op. It's stuff that is literally just right there. All you have to do is look. This is a very powerful time. And I do believe this is the biblical and the historical time we've talked about. But we're going to move forward. I can feel that I'm rambling a little. Why is the media defending Antifa? In Kayleigh McEnany's press conference, it seemed really funny to me, but there was a lot of like defending of them. They kept saying, what authority does the president have to mark them a terrorist group? And how will you be able to decipher, or how will you be able to determine if they are or if they're not Antifa? And just basically trying to poke holes in the narrative that they are a terrorist group. It's hilarious that they will defend them. It makes me sick. These are people that beat up women. I saw a video on Instagram just this morning. Bunch of dudes, a lady just stand in front of her store, just telling the guys, don't break my store. They're throwing boards right past her face, breaking her windows out, and she's just standing there trying to get him to stop. And then, sure enough, one of the idiots starts just swinging on an old lady from behind her nonetheless. You rioters and you looters are scum. You may not have been the one who threw the punch on that old lady, but you're with them. Make no mistake about it, you are with them. And there's a bunch of us who won't just stand and let it happen. Just know that. The media is defending them. The Democrats are defending them. Why? Why are they siding with Antifa? Well, let me tell you why. Let's get into that. Let's dive into why that might be. They also said Antifa is a loose organization. And when they asked how you could identify who is Antifa, they said they're just a loose organization. So it's hilarious to hear them contradict themselves in their own statements. One minute they're this, they shouldn't be getting gone after like they're a terrorist group. And then they're just like this loose organization and they're not even worth the time. Yet the media asked question after question, I think 2, 3, or 4 questions, I don't remember how many, sorry for not remembering, about Antifa. If they're this loose organization, why is the media spending half or more of their press conference asking about President Trump's decision to declare Antifa a terrorist organization or a terrorist group? Why do they care so much if they're a loose organization? You got to watch, guys. Read between the lines. Just, again, 40,000 feet, whatever it is. Step back. Watch from a distance. Put that all together. Connect the dots. This stuff is right in front of us. Right in front of us. Kaylee went on to say that the states should be handling what's going on in their cities, the rioting. It is their job to police their streets. Why aren't they? Let's talk about this for a minute. Which cities aren't policing their streets? Which cities are allowing the rioting to happen? Which cities are delivering bricks to the locations of planned protests? And what are the governors in those cities? Or what are the mayors in those cities? Just ask yourself that. There's a really common denominator. There really is. It's quite staggering, actually. Really quick, let's just touch on the fact that 100% this is all Antifa. This is funded by Soros, the DNC, Hillary, whoever it is. I don't know exactly, but I know it'll tie back to all of them. Watch. And the reason that Trump declared them a terrorist organization is now they can go after the DNC and all these Democratic representatives that can be tied to funding Antifa and tied to funding these riots and tied to funding all these protests where innocent reporters and old people just get stomped by a bunch of little, I want to swear in this video, in masks. Scum. You're all scum. If you're out there doing it with them, you're no better than them. You're with them. The states should be handling it. And the states that aren't handling it, President Trump is sending the National Guard to those cities to take care of it for them. He's not doing anything. The day that George Floyd, I think, as soon as I actually even knew that the George Floyd thing had happened, I had already seen a Trump statement on it. He was doing something else. He didn't come out and make a separate presser, but he was at a different event. Can't remember which one. I think it was at the round table with the business leaders. And he started it out by addressing it and condemning it and saying, we are on it. I've got people all over it. It's wrong and justice will be served. He was like, I believe truly, as far as I know, he's the first powerful person in power, person in government that I heard say anything. He was the first. And they're spending, again, the other third or the other quarter, whatever it was of this time, this presser, trying to say that he hasn't done anything. And he hasn't, when is he going to speak out? When is President Trump going to speak out? This gets better. Listen to this, guys. Hold on. This is, excuse me. This part is hilarious. They were trying to say that he hasn't spoken out. And one of these guys, his name was Jeff. I don't know what magazine he was from or what publication. I'm sure it was one of the fake news idiots. But he started clowning Trump. And he was asking the same line of questioning. Why is Trump hiding out on this? Why isn't he speaking out? How come the president How come the administration isn't speaking out? How come they haven't held a press conference or whatever? Again, he was the first person to say anything about it on TV live. I watched it with my own eyes, yet they're on TV trying to convince me that he hasn't addressed it, isn't doing anything about it. Yes, he did. He was the first one to say anything. And yes, he is. National Guard by the hundreds of thousands or whatever it is spreading across the country. And he's going to force governors or mayors that don't do their job and police their states. He's going to let the National Guard go do it for him. Okay, he's not doing anything and he hasn't said anything. You win. I'm the idiot. So this guy, he says to him, how come the president's hiding out on this? And he was actually physically hiding in the bunker of the White House the other night. So not only they give Trump crap and say he glorifies violence. This reporter quite literally was like making fun of I feel like I'm pretty good at picking up on what people put down, okay? This dude made fun of the president for hiding in the basement of the White House or whatever when there was people outside trying to break into the property. And this guy's making fun of him for it. Felt a little bit to me like he glorified violence. I think Jack from Twitter would maybe say this guy glorified violence. Sounded like he was maybe saying that the president was hiding and that what people were doing outside of the Capitol wasn't absolutely terrible. Why isn't he condemning what's happening? I haven't yet heard one of these reporters condemn what's happening. They keep asking when the president's going to say this, when the president's going to say that, when he's going to do this, when he's going to do that. When are they going to themselves condemn this stuff? Instead of just keep putting it on TV and glorifying it and standing up for the people that are doing it. This leads me to my next point. 1 minute they are going overboard saying that, or 1 minute we're going overboard saying the National Guard's it's tyrannical and he's a dictator and all this crap, right? And then the next minute he's hiding out, not doing anything. This is getting close to being one of my last points I'll make. We're at 12:20. I'll probably make this. This is actually going to be okay. This won't be that bad. Actually, no, it's going to be a few more minutes. Don't leave. Don't leave. One of the most rich parts of this whole thing to me is people like Justin Timberlake, and I haven't done the research because I don't care. I already am pretty much out on Hollywood. I'm sorry, the mass majority of them anyway. I'm getting real close to being out on all of sports. And I love sports, but man, I'm getting sick of them too. Anyone out there that funds, that gives $1 to a GoFundMe to let these absolute... I'm holding my... Again, I'm stopping. Let me reel it in real quick here. If you fund the people that rioted and were lawless and destroyed people's property and hurt people, if you're funding them getting out, let me tell you, whatever it is that you do in your life, your business, your entertainment, your sport, whatever it is, your team, your whole industry, whatever it is, I will never personally, I'm not saying everybody else should do this, but kind of I am, and you guys know I'm not a boycott guy, I'm turning into one. I will never give any of you another dollar again, and I will make sure that anything you're involved with or anything you touch, I never give another dollar to. Timberlake, never really liked you anyway, but I promise you this is going to end you, dude. I know they have something on you. I know you're part of the machine, whatever it is. I get it. But mark my words, Timberlake just took a 40, 50%, maybe bigger percent hit on his status, his income, his businesses. And every other person who funds these people getting out should feel that same pain. If you guys, you got to understand right now, we are quite literally at war. This is the silent war. Stop funding the other side. You're funding them by consuming their goods. You're funding them by buying their shoes. You're funding them by buying their clothes. You're funding them by watching them. You're funding them by any of it. Watch who's standing for who right now. If they're standing up for the Antifa right now, or if they're trying to fund people to get out of riots, they are part of the problem. And if you're watching my channel and you're with them, you're part of the problem. Leave the channel. Don't care. There's way more of us than there is of you. I know it. Losers. You people are losers, the rioters, and the people harming people. I hate that we have to keep giving this coverage, but you're losers. To everybody out there that knows somebody thinking the wrong way, try to get through to them. Don't chastise them. Don't scream at them. But try to get through to them. There's some really powerful videos floating around of people going around and talking people off the cliff and then explaining to them why. Helping a guy, it was amazing. You guys might have seen the clip, and I don't know who it was or what it is. I'm really bad at doing that part, but there's a gentleman basically screaming at another gentleman, but with passion. Like, you can tell he loves the dude, but he's grabbing him and getting his attention and kind of scalding him a little bit, but preaching to him in front of his kid. It's a really powerful video, really amazing. There needs to be way more people like that. This is me doing that, because I don't see me going and getting in the middle of the riots and doing it. But this is me doing that. There needs to be more people like that. The people that are doing this, do not forget, are actors paid by Antifa and Soros and the DNC and Hillary and all the bad people. Mark my words. I might have put one name in there that's not in the mix, but I know, and we know. We're watching them pay these people to do it. We're watching them ship bricks to these protest sites. We know this is happening. They lost the event. The event for the virus was already gone. This was the next event. They're already losing that. Thank goodness for all of the digital soldiers out there. Everybody, and I talked about this in my last video. Everybody that's recording and showing what they're doing, showing that they're putting bricks out, showing that they have people paying people, that they have people acting, that this is orchestrated. Thank all of you. They're already losing control of this one. What's the next one going to be? I could guess COVID's going to make its return because all the looters were too close. Good. All those people getting COVID, I'd be okay with. It's just the flu, but if they have weak immune systems and they just so happen to die, but they punched an old lady in the back of the head or burned down her store, natural selection, call me an a-hole for saying it. I don't care anymore. Okay, I got one more question I want to hit on here. Chanel Ryan, I think is her name, from OAN, One American News Network. If you guys don't follow them, go watch them. They are one of very few real news networks left that do real investigation. Everybody will say they're right wing because immediately if people actually do real research and follow logic, they become right wing. It's weird how that works. Anyways, sidetrack. Chanel Ryan asked if any members of Congress or any political organizations will be investigated for the funding of Antifa. My thought on Chanel Ryan, if that's how you say her name, I hope it is. Thank you for all you do. Is that she's kind of there for a reason. Like she's there to ask questions for a purpose. Today, one of her questions got really answered. The second question kind of got dismissed by Kaylee, and she just said, I don't really know anything about that. But what she asked was powerful. Now that Antifa's been declared a terrorist organization, they can and will and probably already have found out who funds them, where the money's coming from, and what they're pushing. This is literally an insurgency. They are trying to take our country back. Donald Trump took our country back for us, the people, when he won, when we voted him in, when more first-time voters than ever showed up and voted him in. We took power away from them. They are fighting to get that back right now. And they're doing everything they can to try and say it's him. Before I leave, I'm going to address the fact that everybody's losing their minds over the fact that Anonymous says he has dirt on Trump. Anonymous lost all credibility a long time ago. They might still be able to dig up dirt on people. Everybody's got skeletons in their closet. Nobody's perfect. But Anonymous really went off on some stupid stuff a while back, and I stopped. I'm not telling you guys what to do, but me personally, I stopped paying attention to Anonymous a couple years ago, probably maybe a year and a half ago, maybe before that. I can't remember. It's been so long. And I have gotten a lot of people. The reason I'm asking, or the reason I'm addressing this, is I've gotten a lot of people that have said, "What do you think about Anonymous having dirt on Trump?" It means nothing to me. Anonymous is like Alex Jones, is like all these other people who have lost faith and then gone off their own direction, or they've been bought or whatever. I put no credibility in that. Last thing I'm going to tell you guys before I leave, and I'm almost at the 20-minute mark. I'm going to hit 20 minutes or just below. Please go to qmap.pub and follow what Q is saying. Q is not a religion. Q is not a cult. Q is not a psyop. Q is not anything. I don't know who it is. I don't know exactly how many of them there are, but I know that what I've been reading for the past 3 almost years now, cannot be denied. They haven't told me anything. All they've said is, look at this, ask yourself this. What do you think about this tweet? What do you think about that tweet? Why would they say this? Why would they do that? Watch out for this, watch out for that. But recently, for a last little while, Q has been telling us that all this stuff was coming and that they were going to have events and that all this stuff was... Q can't be denied anymore. I don't care what you guys say. Leave your comments. Say whatever you want. Q cannot be denied anymore. qmap.pub. Watch it every single day. Watch the tweets. Read. It's not that hard to do. Spend 10 minutes, maybe 5. Some days it's less. Some days there's none. But some days spend some time and do the research. What do you have to lose? Spend a few minutes. See what it says. Ask yourself, how do I feel about that? And go from there. Maybe do it 2 days, 3 days. Give yourself a body of work. Do real research. And then decide. Then afterwards, if I'm in a cult and I'm crazy and I'm a Q-tard, whatever, I don't care. I cannot be shaken at this point. I hope all of you do your own research. I hope all of you logically think. It is more important than ever. This stuff that's happening is staged. They are planned events, but it is very real. There is danger. We do need to fight for our country right now. I'm fighting with this. I'm fighting with my voice. Be smart about it. The world's watching. Rule and law and order, the rule of law and order, sorry, the rule of law and order will win. Rioting won't solve anything. Cooler heads will prevail. I love you guys. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Please come back for the next one. Make sure you're still subscribed all the time because I think they still might be yanking people. I love you guys. Jared RedRacer. I'll see you in the next one.